I wanted this to not come as soon at all. As I... okay, I'm not even gonna say anything. Welcome back, everyone, to the ZZZ.
The Skyward Zord Zone.
The Skyward Zord Zone.
Zelda Skyward Zord.
This is a host over here, Super MC Gamer. I'm another host, Kampy DK. And here we are reviewing Skyward Sword for the Wii.
I like how you define it for the Wii. That's going to be a point that we're going to be talking about, I think.
Cool, so just like every episode, we rated on 9 different categories, which are right here. We have extra ways of boosting points.
Matching points.
Matching points. Neat. So the first thing we're going to do is box art.
We're going to talk about the box art of this game. It's very important here.
This is the best box art they've ever done. For U.S. boxes, in my opinion.
I hope Arctic Light is not listening upstairs.
I think this is the best one they've done. Besides Twilight Princess, I think these are both tied 100% for just being very good and eye-appealing and catching. Because when I saw this the first time on the shelf, I was like, holy crap, I want that game.
It is cool that, once again, the holographic.
Yeah.
I do like me some holographic. I'm a sucker for holographic.
The one thing that we don't have here is the box for the game. Like, because there's 2 ways of getting the game. You got the Wii Motion Plus controller.
Yeah.
This game does require it. It doesn't say it on the front, which is very nice because it keeps the front very clean. Everything like that, which I very much like. But this game does require an extension, an add-on, which is...
it does. It's cool that it includes the 25th anniversary
and
symbol.
The one thing I very much liked about this game, like the box art and everything, it includes a CD, which is incredible.
Yeah. It's in there.
Yeah, it's very good. The backs, it's laid out very well.
Lots of screenshots. Wow, we got 6 babies.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's a lot of screenshots. White screen, everybody.
So you have to play motion controls. This game is all based on motion controls. It's the first, like truly, you have to play with 100% motion controls.
Is there any actual definitive thing that says you need Wii Motion Plus here? I mean, it says it at the very top there, but it's not like there's no like big alert. Experience dynamic sword plays with the Wii Motion Plus technology.
Because the Motion Plus launched with this game.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Because when you even start the game, it tells you immediately that you need Motion Plus and you need to calibrate it immediately.
The birth of the legend.
Yes. So this is just like, wow, is this the start?
This is the first.
The one really cool thing is, it really looks clean. I love the artwork of just Link flying.
Despite there being 3 languages on this back.
Yeah. It's very good. It's very clean. All the screenshots are really cool. It's like, whoa, you're in lava, on a ball, you're flying. Who's that blue girl? Stuff like
Who's that blue girl? It's time to play everybody's favorite game. Who's that blue girl?
I just think it looks really good overall. It's very eye-appealing. The spine looks fine. And it's plastic. We got a plastic case.
You're very excited, but this is our first plastic case, isn't it?
We got a plastic.
Oh, I know, we did. 3
Triforce series.
Yeah.
But this is a plastic case for a main title Zelda game. Very good. How do you feel? We've seen.
I think it's good. I like the holographic. I like the fine in the background. We're rating only this box art, but the other box arts are better.
Yeah.
For like the other regions.
Yeah.
I still think it's good.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's just very eye appealing and catching to me. I've never had an issue with it.
I'm putting a 6 and a 7. 9.
Yeah. No, I 100% think it's just like, even though we have other points to go on, I think it's a very solid, very good box art. Wow. Okay.
I almost get
Grim Reaper. Scythe over there.
Hold on.
All right. Death.
He's here. He's here.
He's gonna steal all our items. All right, story.
Now this is a Zelda story.
This is very a Zelda story, and when it says the birth of a legend, they actually mean that because this is the first game canonically, told by Nintendo.
And we get this is the first Zelda.
Yeah,
this is the first Zelda. Not necessarily the first Link.
Yeah.
Because of other stories.
First hero. Right there, like
the Master Sword's birth.
Yeah,
we see a Triforce wish in this game, which is very, very important for story.
It's got Girahim. It's got very good, memorable characters that
Bruce. There's Pippet.
Impa's sick.
Impa is so sick. I love her. Why is there no Impa like Skyward Sword figure?
Watch they give you one, and then it's just old Impa.
Ooh, my hair is swingy.
The story's just super solid. It really just keeps you going. Your companion, I just love Fi so much because she's just a jerk. I love how she's just a jerk, and I love
it. Despite her being a very excessive character, which we'll get more into over here, she is a fun person to have along. And she's
very attached to the story, which is very important because a lot of other companions, while they are kind of attached, this one is hey, Master Sword, boom.
Navi's just a fairy.
Yeah.
Well, she gets some clout in Majora, but
this is a very good game. Story wise, I do tell a lot of people don't judge this game based off of controls because it is a very good story.
It's a thick story.
Yeah.
Do we do it, Mr. Expo Marker? Ah! Oh, yeah.
Okay. I was like...
A 1?
No, I thought you were going to go lower than a 9. If you went 7, I'm like, all right, we're invoking our powers already.
No, it's a 10. I have a hard time finding fault with anything in the story in Skyward Sword.
Yeah, it's very good.
There's a lot of it, and it's delicious.
Yeah, I very much love this game. The world. I think it's fun. I like it's cool. I think it does a lot of really cool things, where you're forced to travel, how in the Wind Waker is. They just did a really good job at kind of just being everything everywhere. It just made it really eye appealing.
You revisit the same areas.
You do visit. That's the biggest drawback.
You revisit
just
I'm so tired of Pharaoh Woods. It has a good song, but guess what?
I love the big thing is I love the hub world, where you're at Skyloft.
Skyloft is really good. The sky that you fly in. Oh, it's so.
And it runs the same thing as after the first couple hours of Wind Waker.
I disagree because the Wind Waker it's blue and colorful and you can always kind of see something on the horizon. Well, in this game, when you're flying through the clouds, it's just so.
It could do that, but the game it's going back to the fact that you're on motion control, so you're actually doing something. Yeah, you're still doing something. It's kind of just more eye appealing. I think it's fine. The hub world is Skyloft is
the sand ship area, that's really cool. The water area, that was a pirate adventure. Yeah. Pharaoh Woods is good the first time you're around it, but man, there's not much past that. And I really like Elden Mountain. Elden Mountain's cool. There's a lot to look around in there.
It does get very repetitive, and that's the biggest drawback, and a lot of people have issues with this game, is it is very repetitive on returning to specific areas, and you kind of get very, after flying, the whole...
For a game where this is the birth of Hyrule?
Yeah.
I don't feel very in Hyrule.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. 100%. It feels like its own separate place, but it is Hyrule. This is it.
I never saw one rolling field. When you think of Hyrule, I think of the rolling fields and the distant mountains.
Where in Hyrule is this? Do we know? Where everything just goes... We don't know.
We do.
It's okay. So, cool. It is average world 5. Boom. It's good, but it gets repetitive, like you said. It did knock some points down. You're going to put a 3.
I'm not going to put a 3. I was between a 4 and a 5. And it's Skyloft, which is pushing me to a 5 right now.
Skyloft carries it immensely.
The Thunderhead area is cool. Okay. Thunderhead and Skyloft get this to a 5. The below areas, they don't... Elden Mountain feels like the closest thing to Hyrule feels like a mountain.
First time playthrough.
This is an amazing first time playthrough.
This is... The controls make sense. I actually love the controls of this game. And a lot of people hate it. And I'm like...
I do too.
It makes you think it's the first time that you felt like you're actually playing the game, like you're doing stuff. Whereas Twilight Princess on the Wii is just they were really testing the waters on how, but boy did Skyward Sword get it right and did such a fantastic job. First time I played that, I was like, why do I have so many hearts? That was like...
The 6 hearts.
I was like, what the heck is going on?
6 ready to go.
I ran up walls. I was like, what's going on? I have a stamina meter. Like, oh my god, it was so fun. The tutorial was... I noticed it immediately.
It was long.
It was long.
It is 2 hours to get into the first dungeon, and that dungeon goes quick.
Yeah.
And then you're back into like the slums of the like trudging through the story for a bit more. And first time playthrough, it's not that like you're just excited for the adventure. I still remember the release of Skyward Sword, and the problem is I remember because the game released like a midnight thing, and I remember like playing through Skyward Sword and getting through all the tutorial stuff, being Skyview Temple, the first temple, and being like, I want to stop, but for a first time playthrough, usually you want to be driven.
Yeah.
Like if we're talking about seasons on our last game, like you beat the first dungeon, you're like, all right, number 2, next, number 3. I don't get tired until like maybe dungeon 4 in the first time playthrough, and I can probably do all those in the same time period.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like the game does a very good job at teaching you how to play the game, and it does a very good job at teaching you every item you get. Like it very much well explains and that's why I really like the companion a lot. She does get very obnoxious.
And especially on repeat playthroughs, there's no reason for her to tell you so much. And while Ezlo at some points in Minish Cap, he tells you straight up like the answer to the puzzle in the first dungeon.
Yeah.
Fi never did that. She like you have to ask her if you want to. She'll tell you the solution. She'll be a bro anytime you ask her.
Yeah.
But you have to ask her.
Yeah. So I very much liked playing this game. I did have. Like fighting Skirvo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Barreldorf.
Yeah.
Shouts to Chaco. It was a very fun... It was one of the games I very much enjoyed on the Wii.
Yes.
With motion control, which did a very good job. Boy, am I struggling right now.
I'm giving it an 8. He's struggling, guys.
7.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Best Zelda game, by the way. Right now.
The Nostalgia Factory.
It's the best Zelda game right now.
This game... Okay, I'm telling you guys a little story. When I beat Skyward Sword in the year 2009, I was thrilled when I finished it, and for about a month after, I was like, this is probably one of the best Zelda games of all time. And I was like, but I'm not going to declare it that. And I was even considering calling it my favorite for a very short period of time. Where I was like, I'm not going to say that yet, though. I'm going to give it, like, a year. Mm-hmm. I need to see where the nostalgia factor is. I legitimately thought about the nostalgia factor. And to this day, I don't have a lot of nostalgia for Skyward Sword. I think that it's good. I certainly like playing Skyward Sword. But if I could skip some stuff, I sure as heck would. I hit the big old plus button.
Oh,
the big minus.
Yeah.
Big two button.
Big 2, greatest button. I think like the first time I played and I just saw like I found out we were in the sky and I was like, holy cow. That brings me like pretty good memories of just like, wow, I'm somewhere different. I'm not on land. Like really cool ways of traveling. I had a really good time with it. Yeah, it does have that, like, when you beat it the first time, you're like, holy cow, this is incredible.
Especially because that final boss is amazing.
Yeah, no, because the story carries it. And that's, like, the biggest problem is, like, the story's so good. Like, I haven't played this since 2013, and I still always just want to watch someone play it. I don't want to go back and play it. I'd rather watch...
This game was 2011, not 2009. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I'm gonna agree on that. Like, it's a very good game, but there's a lot of there's nothing besides like when you start the game the first time and then the last boss battle, like running down horde, like doing all the horde stuff. Then you're just like, well, crap, I have to fight Girahim. And what the heck? Girahim's a sword?
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? Boy, that's a 6, and I'm disappointed in myself.
Right down to 3. I don't feel it, man. I don't feel it.
I love 5. 5 is 4. There's literally 4 points right here because I love her so much.
I love Skyward Sword. I love
her. She's so good.
I don't feel drive to play Skyward Sword. Like if I look at Skyward Sword, I'm like, ages available or seasons available. I like playing it. I don't feel the drive when I see it or when I hear the music. I like the music and stuff, but I don't feel the drive.
Fighting.
Now, fighting's good.
Fighting's so good.
And if you don't like the motion controls, we'll see you in a second.
Yeah.
But
boy, does the fighting make sense. Everything's so good.
Yes.
Like when you just stab right.
And you got the bow, which has some cool stuff with it. There's a lot of unique things, like beetles to like pick up bombs and drop them on fellas.
Oh yeah. Just everything. I really enjoyed a lot of stuff. Enemies are really cool. Like how they changed the babas and stuff like that.
Yeah, you have to wait to like or like
with their mouths open specifically. Yeah. I was like, wow, what a cool thing to incorporate for these enemies and stuff like that.
Every fight feels methodical and thought driven. It's never a situation of you can just
you have to.
There's thought behind every attack.
Yeah, and I really really enjoyed it. And some fights got very frustrating, but they were never at the point where I felt it was impossible.
Yeah,
like everything was very fair.
Demise held me up at the end.
Yeah.
I died to Demise as a kid.
Dude,
I don't want to say kid. I was
Skyward Strike. When you just hold, you're just like, whoosh,
goosh. But the problem is when you do this, sometimes he's just like,
yeah. Oh! That goes right. But boy, when you get all that lightning and you're just like,
dude, the fighting's good.
Yeah, the fighting's very very good.
What about enemy variety? There's a lot of enemy variety.
There's a lot of
there's BMOs in this game. Return after a small sabbatical.
I love all the Stalfo, like, because they did really cool things with the Stalfo. The bosses were fun. I like the bosses.
Oh my god, Coloctos with the whip?
Yeah.
Now that is an excellent boss battle. 10 out of 10 boss battle.
It's such a... It hits every good mark where I really like in, like, just adventure games, because it has a unique way of fighting that it does it amazingly. Like, boy, give me a solid 10. I'm dead serious. I love the fighting in this game.
I'm going 9.
We're flipping right there.
We're having a time. This thing. This is scary. What we're about to happen here.
This is a lot of points. Items. You can put bombs in your pocket.
There's the adventure pouch, which you get to put more items in, like the heart medallion and stuff. Those are neat little bonus things.
The beetle, which is like
that beetle's really cool. He's fun.
Yeah, that's neat.
He sucks a little bit.
Yeah, like because it's based off on your controls and everything like that.
He's slow.
He's slow.
The whip is a cool item that wasn't utilized a ton. It was better used inside Spirit Tracks, honestly, which was before it.
Yeah. Nothing like super, just like...
Everything they did was neat.
Yeah. There's nothing... The only thing that ever stuck out to me is just pick up a bomb, put it in your pocket.
Got the gust bellows. I mean... I don't know. I feel like the items have a bad score for me because...
Yeah, no, because the fighting is so good. The combat.
It's funny that the swordplay is so good, which makes everything else kind of...
Yeah, like
a little bit less.
You just don't want to use items
I like
besides
the
bombs. Huh?
Bombs and bow.
Bombs and but that's every Zelda. Bombs and bow.
Bombs and bow.
So good.
So good.
Yeah, no, it's very lackluster. They have very unique items, but they are very lackluster. Used maybe 1 or 2 times.
I'm going to 5. 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bombs in your pocket carry a lot more.
Now we're getting into the meat now.
The meat. We got the pepperoni.
Now, if we're going to... Okay, I'm going to start off with an excellent dungeon here. Ancient Cistern is probably one of the best Zelda dungeons in history. I feel like it's up there with Forest Temple. I hate that. We have a set issue. Michael, please help. But no, Ancient Cistern's really good. Sand Chip's all right. And we start to Fire Sanctuary and stuff, like, we start to get into some more mixed territory, leading all the way down to, like, kind of like things that I did not enjoy at all, pretty much, like Skyview Temple, the first temple game, even though it's a tutorial, like a kind of a tutorial. I didn't enjoy it even on my first playthrough. I kind of felt there was confusing moments and just kind of like
when I went through the dungeon and stuff like that. Like a lot of it was just like just going through. I want to fight, and that's all the game was to me. Is just like I really want to fight and see what's going on with the story. So I never really paid attention to like where I was at and what I was doing because it's just like, all right, small puzzle here, do this.
I did like the puzzles.
The puzzles were actually very
puzzles
good.
and dungeons were great,
but just the overall feel and everything was just.
And there's not a lot of dungeons.
Yeah, there's not.
There's 6 dungeons plus what's that called? The fella.
A fella.
No, it's not Skyview Temple. The one where you find the Triforce.
Oh, okay.
The slidey temple. Now that's a good dungeon. That's fun. That's really cool.
I think like the dungeons get super carried on the puzzles and just mechanics you're supposed to do, but like they're very lackluster.
Brooke, can I change this to an 8?
Nope.
The Imprisoned.
I like the Imprisoned.
I did too for the first time.
That's what I'm going off of. The first time, because I played it one time. No, you can't change it. It's written down. You know what I'm gonna do? Just go to fight. Just give me a plus. I like the Imprisoned. I thought it was really cool. I know a lot of people are very polarized by it. I used it as a point of resetting. Like most of the time with the Imprisoned, like I just a fun similar thing. Even though it's overused, and I know I complained about it with the Minish Cap. I do like the size and scale. Like it's like you're dreading this thing coming up the top of it.
Yeah, it has differences.
Yeah, there's differences, but it does look very similar.
Dungeons. I'm sorry. Back to the meat.
Yeah, it's.
It had a couple standout moments.
Yeah,
and the puzzles were great.
The puzzles were very good.
Ancient Cistern is the only one I feel is like and Sandship are kind of like the all stars, but.
Boy, those puzzles and just the fighting just help with it because the bosses are so good.
I'm gonna keep the 6, just because Ancient Cistern.
All right.
The Gimmick. Now this is
it.
So I want to judge the motion controls by. Are they a good fit for the Legend of Zelda series? Because I think they work. Like a lot of people say they don't work. I think they're playing incorrectly. You need to make sure you're the right distance from your TV and all that. And maybe that is some points off because it is limiting to how you play it. And,
yes.
And heck, that gimmick could be very, very damaging for players with handicap.
Yeah, no, it's a very, like, you have to play it this way. You can't play it other ways.
Yeah.
With like besides like your handheld consoles, which you're very limited as well how to play. For all the other systems, like there's third-party controllers and things like that you're able to use to make it more comfortable and suit. Where this is, you are locked into motion controls the whole time, and that is a very damaging thing for it. I felt like if they did Breath of the Wild and forced more motion controls on you, I think that'd been fine. Like there would have been no problem with that for me because like I felt like they did a very good job with this game. I'm very sad that they didn't like have as an option for certain things to do.
Yeah.
Because like you could have done a lot of really cool things like with bow, you could have done something like that, like with your other hand or something like that, restring. Like they do such a cool job with the Joy-Cons that they just kind of failed for Breath of the Wild, where they did such a good job of just making it good, but only being able to play this way really just harms it because a lot of people just can't stand motion controls, and it's just unfortunate.
And I think that when I'm judging this, I personally did not mind the motion controls. I thought that it was the way to play Skyward Sword, but if I had to put a rating on it and like how I enjoyed it as a gimmick in the Legend of Zelda series, I did not enjoy it a lot.
No, and that's why it's going with a big fat 2.
Put me for a 3. I was in that territory.
Yeah.
Wow, I thought you were actually gonna go high on that.
I like them, but I can't be selfish on that because I do understand, because there's a lot of games like when I played Twilight Princess, when we talk about that on that gimmick, that one infuriated me a lot more.
Right.
And that was just awful.
Right.
But being forced to have to play this style, whereas Twilight Princess had 2 different versions on how to play the game, was kind of incredible. So you weren't locked in with one specific controller. man.
And that's where we're at. Give us a second to do some math. All right, so the scores are in. It's at 114. I thought it was going to be higher.
I thought it was going to be a lot higher.
So now comes the point. Do we want to throw a bonus sticker on it? I'm hesitant right now, honestly, to throw a bonus sticker on it.
I'm going to.
Okay, what's your bonus going for?
Whereas, like, I destroyed by the gimmick, like, I gave it a pretty low score. I very much enjoyed just swinging a sword, hitting things, like an adventure game where I could just beat the crap out of something. Like, right in front of me. It was so cool. It was just such a fun experience, and I had a very good time playing it, especially the first time playing it with just beating up stuff. I very much liked it, so I'm giving the gold star of approval.
Perfect.
Cool, 124.
124. So that's higher than Majora, lower than Ages.
That's insane.
We live in a world.
We live in a world. Cool. So
leave your comments.
Leave your comments. I know there's gonna be fighting.
It's gonna be fighting.
There's gonna be fighting.
There's gonna be 10 out of 10 fight in the comments.
10 out of 10 fighting. So the next
keep
game,
it civil.
Next game that we will be going over is Twilight Princess.
All right, dude.
This is it. This is really it. I'm so excited. Cool. See you next time, guys.